guys, welcome to the channel. We're doing a Friday night Q&A. We've got Claire here with us tonight.
Hello, thanks for having me on, honey.
Absolutely. The comments are already pretty filling up here. We've already got about 69 people commented already.
Nice.
So we're gonna do. Basically, we don't have anything on the agenda tonight. We're just gonna do questions, Q&A, answer all the people in the chat. Before we get started, though, I wanted to just wrap up some housekeeping items from the past few videos that we've done. We did a video, I want to say it was on Monday. We did Top 10 Tuesdays, special Monday edition. And we brought up, we have somebody that the Aftermath Foundation is helping. If you don't know what the Aftermath Foundation basically helps people that have left Scientology or trying to leave Scientology get their lives back on track, and basically get them going, get them succeeding in life. Because in most cases, people that have left Scientology, their whole support structure, their whole family, their whole world is very Scientology centric. And so if they leave Scientology, they sort of lose their they could lose their job, they could lose their housing. If they're in the Sea Org, in a lot of cases, they don't have a GED. In a lot of cases, they've never driven before. They've never had a job in the outside world, because a lot of Sea Org members, a large majority of current Sea Org members are second generation Scientologists. So they don't know anything else outside of Scientology, and in a lot of cases, not outside of the Sea Organization. So we have somebody that we've been helping for a while. He just is about to get his GED. He is really doing amazing. And as soon as he finishes his GED, he wants to start working. And so he lives in Los Angeles. That's where we're trying to get him a job. We did get some good leads last week from the video that we did. He does have a slight disability, but he can pretty much do everything anybody else can do. He's very like upbeat and sort of like a pretty chill dude. And yeah, we're trying to get him a job if possible. We're trying to get him a job. It can be a minimum wage job. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. And we're trying to get him a job in the Hollywood or like West Hollywood. Hollywood adjacent is okay. And we got some good leads last week. And if anybody else has got anything they think might work, just go ahead and email. Go to the aftermathfoundation.org, and you can email us there. And or you can go to the About page on the YouTube channel, and you can email us at that address. And so yeah, that's that. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, we did when we did the Top 10 Tuesday last week. If you haven't seen that video, you should watch it. It's really good. But I was interviewing Claire because I'm going to start interviewing other people, and I've never done interviews before. I'm not an interviewer, so I was interviewing Claire as like a test to see how it would work and how it would work with this format and this broadcast and on YouTube and so on. And people were like, gosh, Mark doesn't know anything about Claire. I was trying to be like, oh, okay, and ask questions like I didn't know. Of course, I knew probably 98% of the things that I was asking her. But there was one thing that I did not know. And that was when Claire's mother joined the Sea Organization, Claire was 4 years old. And I didn't know, in Los Angeles, when Sea Org members have babies or small children, like toddlers, I guess you would call it, they sleep in either the same big room as their parents, or they like sleep in the next bedroom over or something like that. So the parents might have one room, and then there might be like the living room of that apartment, or like just another room off of the bedroom, and the kids usually have a bunk bed, or the kid or whatever has a bed in that room. And Claire didn't even live with her mom when she was 4, and that answered so many questions, and it also blew my mind because basically, I mean, am I wrong, Claire? Your mom abandoned you when you were 4.
Yeah. I mean,
But, essentially.
Yeah, she did.
Essentially,
she did. I've come to terms with the fact that basically, or not even basically, the fact is when she joined the Sea Org is when I lost her as my mom. That's the fact. It didn't have to do with when I left Scientology. That, of course, she officially disconnected from me the day after I made my escape. But the fact is she was not my mom anymore after the age of 4.
Yeah. And so,
by the way, hold on. Before you go any further, I think you have the internet cooties down there.
I don't have anything. Don't worry about any cooties.
Okay.
Cooties.
You look really pixelated.
Okay. I don't look pixelated on my thing. Just
awesome.
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. You're already started. She's already started, guys. I can't win.
Sorry.
Okay. So, real quick. Here we go. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to add this picture here. Let's see if I figured this out right. Let's see if I go like this. There we go. Okay. That's Claire when they arrived at the St. Hill in England. That was the place where Claire's mother was in the Sea Org. That is Claire when her mom basically gave her away to the Sea Organization. That's how old she was. She was 4 years old.
Yep.
So that's very crazy to me. Anyway, this, I have another one here actually. That's when you were 4.
Yeah.
And you just got there. So this is like, hey, welcome to the Sea Org. And then this picture, I don't know if you can see it, but Claire is the one, she's on the bottom row, and she's the second from the left.
Yep.
Little baby Ginger there. And you were 6 in this picture, right?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay,
and,
so that's
and a lot of those other kids also ended up being in the Sea Org as adults. A lot of them worked at the headquarters with us.
I was going to say at least 4, I think, of those people in that picture were at the INT base when we were at the INT base.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, in California. This is in England. This picture was taken in England, in East Grinstead, Sussex.
Yep. In fact, Eve Laws is in that picture in the second row. She's one of the people that was yelling at you on Highway 79 when you went back to the base with the Danish film crew.
Oh yeah, I should find that and put that up on YouTube. That's a really good video.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's enough of that. So let me get back to there we go. Anyway, it's kind of crazy.
It is crazy.
I can't imagine. I mean, we have a 9-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 16-year-old. I can't even imagine leaving the 10-year-old alone.
Yeah, the 9-year-old. He'll be 10 next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but way. Yeah, our 16-year-old is older than both of us were when we had been working in the Sea Org for almost, well, in your case, a year and a half, and in my case, 6 months, 7 to a year.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts. Is my thing still pixelated?
Yeah.
So I set it to record locally.
Okay.
And I don't know if it is. I don't know if that's why it is like that.
Yep.
So that's a bummer.
I still recognize you. I'm just, it's all good.
Okay, well,
Somebody said they were getting their vertigo was getting triggered, so they were just focusing on me. Oh, it's better now. Wait. Yep, it's better. Oh no. Okay. Sorry. I'm not trying to distract you. I was just trying to give you a heads up.
It's okay. We have like a gig down and a gig up. It's like fiber. It's not the bandwidth. It's just the.
It's not, because otherwise platform. We'd both be pixelated. We're both on the same.
Yeah, she's like literally right above me in a different room. This room is so small, and my desk barely fits me, so it's not like I can put another person here. People are like, "Why don't you let her in the man cave?" There's no. Also, it's Friday, and so if I say basically, or if I interrupt Claire, take a drink.
What? So what are my mandates
17 then? Times already. No, I don't know we don't have anything for you. If you comment on my video or audio quality, take a drink. So I'll take a drink for that as well.
All right, I'll take a drink.
And I'll take one for a customary, basically.
Cheers.
If you've got, what time is it? It's 7:11. So we'll cut off the questions at 7:45-ish. I think that's good. But yeah. I was trying to think if there was something else. Oh, I was going to do another Spy Files video yesterday, folks. And I got to reading. So everybody knows I've had for years, I've had this dossier that the Office of Special Affairs had, but it only was my documents. So there was about, I'd say, 25 to 30 documents, but they only related to me, and some of them had some crossover data like South Park and this other guy, Chuck Beatty, and there's a few other things, but it was pretty much just me. Well, in the last few months, I've gotten 5,000 more of these files and folders, and I was going through them last night right before I was about to record a video, and I ended up reading several hundred, maybe even 1,000 of them, and they are insane. They are there's probably 25 other folders, like dossiers, that have all these different people and all the things that were being done with them, and then there's just hundreds and hundreds of back and forth between Dave Miscavige and other executives and regarding Office of Special Affairs activities. There's meetings. I'll tell you guys, this is a lot of juice. There's meetings with Barbara Walters. There's meetings with CNN regarding an Anderson Cooper show. There's meetings with people regarding a Larry King show. Like CNN and Larry King were trying to get David Miscavige to come on their show and interview him. And Scientology had this sort of agreement that until David Miscavige comes on, they wouldn't do any shows on Scientology as the subject. And so there was no, these guys were all this was in 2006, 2007-ish, and there was all kinds of Scientology crazy going on. And these guys were like hands off because that was the deal for them to get Dave. And then when Larry King found out that Dave was maybe going to go on Anderson Cooper, then he started using his lines to try to get to the church. And Mike Rinder's meeting with all these people and having phone calls with all, it's a crazy thing. And I'll tell you, the person who played everybody was Barbara Walters, because Barbara Walters had a meeting and she said some things and did some things, and they basically, I'm pretty sure, and they got Tom Cruise to do an interview with Barbara Walters. She never got Dave Miscavige, but neither did Larry King and neither did Anderson Cooper. And Anderson Cooper went on to do, I think it was called Scientology Culture of Violence, which was amazing. And it had Mike, Jeff Hawkins, Tom DeVocht, and I think one other person. Oh, maybe Marty. And they had the wives of those 4 guys go on Anderson Cooper, and it was amazing. And all of them said that they knew every inch of their husbands' bodies, and they would know if David Miscavige was beating them up or whatever. But they each said the same exact statement in some way or another. Like when it went to the next wife, she's like, now listen, I know every inch of my husband's body. And then the next one would say, well, I knew every inch of my husband. And so then they became, I think Mike Rinder is the one who coined it, but they became known as the inch wives.
Spot on. Because
Anyway.
you know that was dictated by Miscavige, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Well, in his case, if his wife was on there, she'd have to say, I knew every centimeter or something. I don't know. I don't know how you can, what's smaller than an inch.
Speaking of which, by the way, I was, when that show aired, I was just so grateful that I got the hell out of there, because
oh yeah, you
otherwise
would have been on
I would have been one of the inch wives. God forbid. Oh, dodged a bullet on that one.
I'm going to take a drink just to celebrate that you
Yeah,
didn't stay.
cheers.
I didn't have you bad mouthing me on CNN with Anderson Cooper.
Oh, that would have been awful.
Let's do some questions. You want to do some questions, or is there anything you wanted to say or do before we get into the Q&A land?
Say hi to Mike. Mike Rinder's in the chat. Give him a wrench.
Okay, let me see. Where is he? Oh, let me go here. Let's see where he is. I'll give him a wrench.
Apparently we did a poor job scheduling this, because Aaron's doing a live right now too.
Okay, that's what replays are for. I mean, I'm not... The world does not stop and start, according to Aaron. I hate to break it. Oh,
that was hilarious.
Marty is... So here's what I've got. I've got... people are saying, oh, you can do it. Mike Rinder said Marty. Okay, so when I go to Mike in the chat, I have 2 options. I have put user in timeout or block user. That's all I got.
Oh, weird.
So... yeah, I don't know what... also, by the way, I just realized Mike is a moderator. I sent him an invite to be a moderator. So if he wants to be a moderator or get a wrench, all he has to do is answer the thing.
The invitation? Okay.
Yeah, the invitation. Okay. Cool.
Oh, Jeff Hawkins is here. Hi, Jeff.
All right. Wow, we're getting a lot of good ones here.
Yeah.
Is it possible that LRH left OT 9 and 10 on the top shelf of a closet and DMC simply can't reach them? Also, it's a closet where LRH banned ladder tech, thus making the problem exponentially worse. Stephen, that is very possible. It's not impossible. How about that? I'm not sure what happened, but yeah. Denver Stevo, thank you, Denver Stevo. Claire, how many plaid shirts does Mark own? Oh, you know.
Hi, Denver Stevo. My answer to that question is all of them.
Yeah, I do. I did wear a shirt. I don't know if it's buzzing. It's very tight pattern, but this is what I wore to work. You guys think I'm dressing up for these things? No, I just got off work and I just sat down. I mean, it is what it is. You get what you get. You get what you get.
We've got better variety than Aaron.
Another Denver Stevo. Sounds like another shot of bourbon for me tonight. Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
Then. Yeah.
As a joke, I was gonna wear blue shirts instead of black shirts, but I only have 2 of those, and they're really like dark navy, and they look just like black on video. In this room is not that bright, and I think when I wore one on one of Aaron's podcasts, he's like, "You guys shop at the same store?" So so I just wear whatever I wear at work. Okay, so Mark wears plaid like Aaron does black shirts. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take it easy, folks. Okay, this is a good one. I like this one. Light giver. The best part of Mark is Claire. Aww. Exclaim. Yeah.
Thank you, Light giver.
I'm pretty sure no one has missed that fact. And I am very well aware of that fact, too. And everybody who knows us knows that. It's not a secret. Thank you. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Lori Howard. Got my book today. Oh, thank you, Mark. I don't think you will ever have to worry about someone copying your signature. LOL. Yeah. Funny thing about that is that when I was in the Sea Org for, oh, I don't know, maybe 5 years or so. I can't remember. For several years, um, I was an executive. I was in the executive council. And if you're on exec council in the Sea Org of Golden Air Productions, where I was, you become a check signer for the most part. If you're an American citizen and you have a driver's license and you got like documents that you can go to the bank with, they set you up as a check signer. And so at Golden Era Productions, I'm going to say several hundred checks a week I would have to sign. And so over the years, so I was signing my signature several hundred times every single week for years. And over of those years, my signature became what looks like an M, scribble, what looks like an H, scribble. And that's pretty much what it is to this day. So thank you. I'm glad you got your book, Gloria. I hope you enjoy it. Now, just so everybody knows, I didn't get an education, so I was like 14, and I never expected that my book, that I would ever write a book. I don't even read books, so the fact that I would write a book is pretty miraculous. So yeah, it's rough. It's also self-published, so yeah, it is what it is. And also I wrote it just a few years after I escaped from the Sea Org. So I'm a totally different person, I think. Like I'm slightly more educated and maybe more appropriate than some of the things I say or do in the book. And also, when I was writing the book, I was writing it from the view of that time, wherever it took place in the book. So when I was 16, I was writing it from the viewpoint of a 16-year-old. So there's childish things in there in some places. So
two comments. I don't know if you knew, but I was the check signer for RTC for 4 years.
Oh, well, that kind of just blows away my whole thing, because your signature, you can totally read Claire and totally read Headley. So,
okay, well. We
also
also figured
RTC
out, somebody in the comments figured out why you look blurry.
Okay, good. Thank you.
It's because we're working.
Because what?
Because everybody's drinking for your face.
Oh, yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, now you're blurry to me, just so you know. So
there you go.
I'm definitely not going to do local recordings anymore. So anyway,
okay.
Whatever.
We'll fix
also,
it for next
time. RTC didn't cut as many checks as Golden Era Productions did.
No.
You guys were cutting like 100 checks or 50 checks, not 600 checks. I mean,
that's right.
We were writing checks for all the food, for all the electricity, everything for the whole property.
Yep.
JB Wilder says, Does DM file taxes for himself? In what state and what address does he use on his federal and state returns? Do you know anything about that? You were the internal exec. Did somebody?
I know he does file taxes for himself. In what state? Yeah. At least when I was there, was California. The address, I don't know the answer to that, but I would guess it would be the RTC address, which was 1710 Ivar Avenue, LA, California, whatever the zip code was. 1710 Ivar was the RTC address. RTC was in Hemet.
Yeah. The mailing address was there.
Yep.
1710 Ivar was the mailing address. Sorry. Okay, this is a good one. I don't know if we're, but Jarrett says, how does the church treat LGBTQ people? Is it pretty harsh, or is it a tolerate them because they're spending money kind of thing? David Miscavige personally is very, very homophobic. And even people who had thoughts about being homophobic were kicked off the property. So they were not there. But additionally, so that's David Miscavige. And pretty much whatever he thinks or feels or does kind of trickles down to everybody. But L. Ron Hubbard also wrote that specifically anyone who is a homosexual is what's called 1-1 on the tone scale, which is covert hostility. Basically, that they're backstabbers and that they're evil and not to be trusted. And I think there is a reference, Mike, I wish Mike was here, he could tell us exactly, but I think there is a reference about treating them how lepers were treated in the early days, like just put them on an island and let them live by themselves so they don't affect anybody else.
Yep,
so,
that's right.
Yeah, so they don't treat them well at all. And that community might even be rarer in Scientology than African Americans, which are very, very scarce in Scientology. Like, if they make up 1 or 2%, I think that'd be a stretch. And LGBT is probably less than 1%, maybe even less than 0.5%.
Yeah, I think they let them in to let them spend money and expect the expectation by Scientology is if they're counseled and trained in Scientology, then they will be cared.
Yeah,
ridiculous as that is.
Yeah, you're certainly not running around with your boyfriend at the org. Like, even if you are, let's say, even if you are, their intention is to cure you of that. And that the more you do Scientology, sooner or later, you won't be. So.
Yep.
Okay. So I can't stop if the video is weird or something like that. I can't stop it. I can't change the settings midstream. So I just won't do that again. I'm sorry, guys, if it's still being an issue. Okay. Thank you, Jarrett. That was a great question. Tarkina Meyer says, love Fridays with Mark and Claire. Wondered if you ever tried to, under the radar, try to contact family and friends still in Scientology. Pics of kids, happy birthday, happy Mother's Day, etc.
Yes, I have done that.
Claire.
I sent my mom invitation to our baby shower, flowers. We made an album when our first son was born, like his one year photos. I sent that to her. It was returned unopened. We follow one of my sisters on Facebook. She has a dog. She's a dog trainer. Mark and I both like her posts all the time. We're kind of very in your face about it. And Mark always gives me a hard time about accepting pretty much anybody as a friend on Facebook. But my view is, hey, if they were to create a fake profile and contact me, then my door is always open. So, but yeah, so far, no bueno. We used to go to my sister's softball games when we were living in LA and with our son. We just had one son at the time, and we'd sit like 10 feet away from them. And Mark would be like, "Go, Kirsten!" And my parents ignored us.
We would be sitting on the bleachers, and her parents would literally be 4 feet away from us. Their whole family, the mother, the father, the brother, and the other sister would be sitting there, and her sister would be on the field playing softball. She was on a college team at, was it Loyola Marymount?
Yep.
And we would be yelling, "Go, go, go!" And they wouldn't look at us the whole time. We would be sitting on the same rung of the bleacher, 4 feet over, and they didn't talk to us, didn't do anything. And I think we did that once or twice, and then it was kind of like, it is what it is. But it was definitely like, hey, we're here. You guys don't talk to us. We're still supporting Claire's sister. And I think I talked to her sister's boyfriend one time for a few minutes. Said, if you guys ever need anything, here's my card. Kind of thing. Okay. Rachel says, caught alive. Do your children ask about your experience in Scientology? If so, how do you explain? I love watching your videos. I'll let you answer that one, Claire.
Sure. So yes, we explain in moderation, and I've said this before, but I called Dr. Laura Schlesinger and said, how do I explain to my kids when they know that when they come to figure out that basically 75% of their grandparents don't talk to us. And she gave me really good advice and just said, just always tell them the truth. And that way, they'll never go down that path. And so we've always done that. We've always just, we tell them what we're saying here. Like, yeah, we used to be in a crazy place. We had to get out of there. Dad wrote a book about it. and they, as they get older, they're asking more and more questions. They haven't watched Math yet. Personally, that's a little bit, honestly, a sore spot just because of the very sore subjects that I covered in at least some of those episodes. But anyway, yeah, they definitely know, and they understand, and they're getting more and more genned in the older they get.
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't. I don't think they've watched the Aftermath, but I think
They haven't.
I mean,
They know that they were in it though. They've had friends saying, "Oh, I saw you on TV," and I kind of go, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, it's not the most kid-friendly subject in there. Also, we did figure out what the drink is for Claire. If you see or hear any animal activity in the background of Claire's video, then you drink. So if you didn't see, her dog's rolling around in there somewhere, Shepherd. So you got to.
She's my support dog. She knew I was talking about an emotionally charged subject, so she came to nudge me gently.
Yes.
So sweet.
Okay. Erica Bickers. Hello, Mark and Claire. I really enjoy listening to your lives in Scientology. That rule of Sea Org parents not raising their kid is really effed up. It really is. And just so you guys know, they don't allow babies in the Sea Org anymore. So at a certain point, I think I want to say in the 80s, I want to say in the mid 80s sometime, if you had kids, you couldn't join the Sea Org. They either had to join the Sea Org themselves and just be a Sea Org member, or they had to give the kids away to somebody else. Or like if the mom, like this is a great example. And this was the thing I remembered. And now that I'm going to say this, I'll bring up the thing about your mom. But so my mom, when I joined the Sea Org when I was 16 years old, and then my sister joined the Sea Org when she was 16. She was like a year and a half, like a year and a half younger than I was. So I joined when I was 15, 16, and then my sister joined when she was 16. And then my mom had a son with another guy, so my half brother. And I want to say she joined the Sea Org. My mother joined the Sea Org. I want to say when my half brother was like 5 or 6. So she just basically was like, I'm out. I'm not a mom anymore. I'm a Sea Org member. And the dad raised him. And when we escaped the Sea Org, my mom and my sister were both shortly thereafter kicked out of the Sea Org. They were what's called, in the Sea Org, it's called offloaded. They offloaded my mom and my sister. But my mom and my sister stayed in Scientology. So they don't work in the Sea organization. They have regular 9-to-5 jobs for Scientologists in most cases, or both cases, or whatever they do. My sister works for this really big-wig whale of a Scientologist down in Clearwater. He owns some big company. His name is Tom Cummins. I think he's given like $10 million to Scientology. My sister used to work for him. She may still work for him. I don't know. And she has a son with a husband. My sister does. And then my mother was kicked out of the Sea Org, and she married a guy who works at a Scientology organization, and they live somewhere in Ohio or Kentucky or something. And the last I heard, my mom was like selling hummus in the mall at a kiosk or something. Hummus and pita bread or something like that, like a Greek kiosk in a mall somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, So,
And
so my
and
point,
Stephanie for a while was at that Canada base.
yeah, somebody sent me a video. I'm gonna put a
Yeah.
link to it in the description of this after the video's over. But my sister worked at this place in Canada called the Hockney Highlands, and her and this other guy got assigned there, and I guess they just got married. They were together there, and then they ended up getting married. They were the only two people. They were like caretakers for this big property that was supposed to be made in to, I think it was going to be the Canadian Advanced Org or
Yeah.
SEAL, some kind of plan was for this building, and the locals wigged out and they basically abandoned it. And I think they ended up selling it, or maybe they still own it. It's just abandoned. But my sister and her husband were the only, as far as I know, they were the only two people. There was another girl that was there. This is a crazy story. There was another gal that was there, and they found her and brought her back. Like the police found her, and they were like, "What happened?" And she's like, "I'm trying to get away." Da 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 da. And they brought her back. Like law, or my sister and her husband went to the law enforcement, like, "Oh, hey, come on back," and they brought her back. So yeah, kind of crazy. But the point I was gonna make is that my mother and Claire's mother have both done videos for our hate sites that Scientology has. And after, I mean, already, who cares? Like, whatever. But you abandon a little girl at 4 years old. How do you get to do a video about anything? Like, you're disqualified. You're done. That's it. You don't get to do it. Same
Yeah.
thing with my mom. You abandoned all your kids and you just gave them away, or you abandoned them and joined the Sea Org. You don't get to make a video. You're done. You don't qualify. Anyway,
Yep.
okay. Get ready to be under the table with that drink game. Oh, did I say basically 17 more times? Here, I'll take another drink.
I'm not keeping track.
I got a strawberry mule here. It's very good. It's very tasty.
Bella went to sleep, so I'm good. I'm not causing anyone to get
Wow.
drunk.
You say that, and then poof, then she's gonna pop out and stick her head right up there. Houston, H4M Street Team. Go
I
Houston,
answered that in the
H4M Street
comments
Team.
too, that you got them from Marty.
Yeah, I've never heard of the story how you got all the spy files. Yeah, you got them from Marty Rathbun.
Which is just so funny now.
Well, yeah, I mean, and also, to be fair, Marty has posted some of these spy files on his website. I should do a video because Scientology. I think they did this with Mike and with Marty. Marty had a blog for a while, and Mike had a blog. Mike Rinder still has a blog, and
Yep.
Marty Rathbun had a blog, and Scientology created two identical blogs. So it looks just like their blog, but it's a Scientology version. And instead of them exposing Scientology, it's basically saying all these hateful things about Mike and Mike's blog case, or Marty and Marty's case. But yeah, it's crazy. Couch. Thanks, Couch. I left AA Ron's video for you guys. Oh, well,
Oh,
thanks, Couch.
oh, thank you.
I'm sorry, Aaron. I didn't.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I didn't tell Aaron I was gonna go live tonight, and he didn't tell me he was going live tonight. So if he would have told me, I would have said, "Oh, I'll push it an hour, or I'll go an hour earlier, whatever." But we didn't. I mean, I talked to Aaron for like an hour today. We did. I don't know.
I did too, about something else.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Well, thanks. Appreciate it. L. Harris. I don't understand the reason a bill abominable would treat the Sea Org members so abominably. $1 billion.
TM takes pleasure in this. Do you think it will continue when he's gone?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's another thing. When I was in Scientology, I thought we were scraping by. I thought Scientology was scraping by because we never had money for anything. I mean, if you read my book, I kind of get into that a little bit, but to give you an idea of the things they don't spend money on, toilet paper. They don't spend money on toilet paper. So, And if you're a Sea Org member, you have to buy your own toilet paper for where you live. And
The
so,
funniest is where I would smuggle toilet paper home from, they'd have it like in their bag or whatever, get home, be like, score 2 rolls of toilet paper.
yeah, so what would happen is at the organization wherever you worked, they would have toilet paper in the bathrooms because it's public facing in most cases. Like regular people are coming into that organization and doing stuff. And if they go, to be some toilet paper in there. So invariably what happens is a Sea Org member would go in the bathroom and they'd use the restroom and then they would just take the roll and shove it in their pocket or their jacket or something. And then that's gone. Roll's gone. And so if you have, 50 Sea Org members all stealing a roll, then the org's got no toilet paper. And that's how Sea Org members would have toilet paper at their birthing, is they'd steal the organization. So pretty much any Scientology or Sea Org organization that you go into, there's usually no toilet paper in the bathroom because the staff are stealing it.
Yeah, I'd say the other thing that's really different about our lives now that we're out of the Sea Org is in the Sea Org, they say there's a policy from Hubbard that says that perfume was invented by psychiatrists on the whole track to disguise implants or something like that. Like orange peel is specifically referenced. So Sea Org members are not allowed to wear anything scented at all. So now Mark and I embrace constant competition about who can smell better. And so,
oh yeah, no, I wear everything I have. Like Claire's not lying. Nothing. You can have nothing scented. You can have scented soap, deodorant, whatever you wash your laundry with, that can't be scented.
Laundry detergent.
There can be nothing, not one thing with perfume or any scents in the ingredients. So as soon as we left the Sea Org, scented deodorant, hairspray, gel, shampoo, laundry softener, detergent. What is that stuff that Unstoppables?
Yeah, Unstoppables, Febreze.
Yeah, just dump that whole bottle in there. Yeah, I don't like to. Yeah, don't like that. Yeah, Marty's blog link LGBT Mike Rinder's blog, Mike's blog link. I'm gonna just show that real quick. Here we go. There you go.
Okay.
It'll be in the comments, I guess. But if you just go to Mike Rinder blog, Scientology homophobia, there you go. Perfect. MikeRindersblog.org, Scientology homophobia. And is Mike in here? Is he still in here?
Not sure.
Whatever.
Jackson is here. Hi, Jackson.
Oh, hey, Jackson. Gary Moorhead, thank you.
And I think Catherine is here. Rose.
Of course she is. She's always here.
Yep.
JLD is me. Thank you. Rinder Ravers for Mike Rinder's fan club. Rinder Ravers.
JLD is me. Yay.
You know what,
nice
guys?
Nice to see you here again.
Aaron Smith-Levin has a YouTube channel, Growing Up in Scientology, if you haven't seen it. Or most of you probably came from that channel to come to this channel. But he was doing this, and I've been doing videos and film. Claire and I have been doing videos and films on Scientology since the 2008, 2009, I'd say. We've done programs for the BBC, Danish TV, German TV, Australian TV, Louis Theroux movie, all these different things. But I never really thought anybody would watch on YouTube, so I was like, eh. And then when Aaron started doing videos and he started getting people watching, I thought, I'll try it. And I it's Mike Rinder to do it. So if you guys think Mike Rinder should start a YouTube channel, or maybe do the Fair Game podcast on YouTube or anything like that, put something in the comments. Just if you would like to encourage Mike Rinder to bring back the Fair Game podcast on YouTube, or just start his own YouTube channel, get in there and show us some love. And we'll see what happens. See if we can push him over the edge to do it.
Yes.
Trinity Devane, I'm reading your book, and last night I had an amazing realization that all the chapter titles are Depeche Mode songs. Ugh. You know what? No one has ever said that publicly, and now you have. I thought that was very cool. Yes,
Good
all
spotting,
of the
Trinity.
chapter titles are, and there's all kinds of Depeche Mode Easter eggs. Even in the book, there's song lyrics and but it was just a little nod to Depeche Mode. I think I even dedicated the book to Depeche Mode.
You did. You did.
You
We
know.
sent a copy to them.
Yes. Okay,
Yep.
Michael Render says, I'm going for chartreuse or lilac.
That was when we were talking about the shirts.
Oh, okay, good. There you go.
Yeah. I marked that just so you'd know he was in the chat. But somebody
Perfect.
he said he had to go.
Oh, okay. It's all good. Well, he'll hear about it, and I'll tell him, look at the comments, and hopefully there'll be at least 3 people that say Mike should start a YouTube channel. Hey, Claire, I've seen a few comments that your mic is a little loud. Just push it a little bit away from yourself.
I did already.
Oh,
I saw that
okay.
same comment, but I pushed it further away now.
You're just loud. That's all it is.
For everybody listening, I have a new mic, so my video will be as good as. There you go.
Your video crapped out when you said that, so I don't know what you said.
Okay. I have a new mic coming.
Oh, a new mic coming.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good. Erica says, when both of you left, what was your large meal or food? Did you go to a certain restaurant, go all out, or what was your first treat? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I think just anything.
Well, first of all, the funny thing was that when you picked me up at the bus station, the first thing we did was we went to Denny's. We had to talk through a few things. Like I was like, "Why the heck did you leave me behind?" But after that memory, where did we go? It was like Olive Garden or that, and we went to a nice. I'd only been out for like 3 days, and we sat down, and we were done in 30 seconds. We just wolfed down the entire meal.
Yeah, I want to say it was like a Marie Callender's, or it was some kind of sit-down restaurant. And when we got our meals, I want to say Claire and I were done eating our entire meal in about 2 minutes. And our families were just it was my dad, his wife, and my dad's sister, my aunt. They were literally just looking at us like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, you just ate an entire plate of food in 80 seconds. We were like, because for 15 years you're eating a meal in 3 minutes, so it's like, yeah. Anyway,
Yep.
it is what it is. Wendy Gomes says, what percentage are molesters / statutory rapists? Oh, shoot. I shouldn't have said that word. YouTube's going to ding me for that one. More percentage than the LGBTQ or the mixed races, I would say for sure.
Yeah, Scientology enables such criminals to get away with their criminal acts. I had experiences with that starting at the age of 7.
Yeah, I'm going to say, basically, the problem with Scientology in regards to like those sort of assaults is that they not only do they enable it and they protect the person, but they do a lot of victim shaming and blaming. So if anything bad happens to you, it's your fault. So if you got by another person, that's your fault. And what did you, instead of saying like, oh, we're going to deal with that person, instead of doing that, the immediate response is, what did you do to pull that in? Like, you're out. If something bad happens to you, then you are out ethics, and you've committed crimes, or you have overts, or you're withholding something. It's basically, there's no finger pointing from you. You don't get to do any finger pointing. You need to do some self-examination and start up and confessing crimes. So it's almost like David Miscavige just announced Mark and Claire won the weekly birthday game. Thank you, Aaron.
Yay!
Did you put that up?
Cheers. I did. I wanted you to see Aaron was in the house.
She's like on autopilot over here. She's doing quotes and everything. Thank you. I don't know what that means. We didn't win any birthday game. But the great thing I was going to say is that, so like the fact that all these shoops are doing all these David Miscavige funny pictures every week and putting up all these funny things about Dave Miscavige on the internet, you have to ask yourself, Dave, did you pull it in? Did you pull
Are
it in?
you PTS? Are you a potential trouble
SPs?
source?
Are you connected to SPs? Are you what?
Have you been watching too many Mark and Claire YouTube videos, David Miscavige?
Carrie Johnson says Claire's mic is a bit loud.
Oh, come on. I pushed it away. I'm sorry.
I love when people pay for tech
I'm sorry.
criticisms. The Flaming Bison can't stay for long. Finally caught you guys live.
Thanks for joining us, the Flaming Bison.
I've done a bunch of work for museums that have bison in them, and I never saw any. So there you go. It's something new. Sarah E says, Mark, have you ever been in radio? You are better than some of the best I worked with in major markets. Why, thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate that. I don't always try to turn on my radio voice, but when I do, I turn it on for you.
Humble much, honey?
Denver Stevo. Thank you, Denver Stevo. 1, Claire, be careful. There's a wild animal behind you.
Yep.
2, Mark, what is it like to know that all the awesome ex-Scientologists come to your stream on Friday nights? I love it. And also, yes. Denver Stevo, I love it how the current Scientologists come to my stream on Friday nights.
Yep.
We have, again, I don't know this, but there are Scientologists in here right now watching this video. Like people that are...
And good for them.
In Scientology. They're still involved in Scientology, whether their mom's going to the org, or they're going to the org, or their brother, or their sister. And they're trying to find out, because Scientology will not answer their questions, and Scientology will not tell them what's happening. They just basically lie to their members full time. They tell them they're expanding, everything's awesome, everything's wonderful, and it is absolutely not. It is the exact opposite of it. They're closing down Scientology organizations. They're losing people. They're losing... The only thing they have is a bunch of real estate. That's really... And they don't even have that many members. If it's 35,000, that's a high estimate. And they're just losing more and more members every year. So...
Yeah.
If you're in here and you need help getting out, or you need a place to go, or a safe, even if some of these Scientologists, they don't need anything. They're well-to-do, they're good, but they need somebody to talk to. Just if you need somebody to talk to, go to the aftermathfoundation.org. We've got volunteers that can talk as well. We have ex-Scientologists that have volunteered to talk to current Scientologists and help them kind of figure out what happened to them and where they're at and all that good stuff. So even if you don't need help, like getting your feet back on the ground or getting your life together and just need somebody to talk to, hit us up over at the Aftermath. We'll help you out.
Yep.
Such as being gay or a murderer. Well, Tone 11 is covert hostility. That's the actual name of 1.1 on the tone scale. It has all these things, all the way from body death to covert hostility to enthusiasm, cheerfulness, and all the way up to, I think it's exhilaration, or what's the top?
Serenity of beingness is the top.
Serenity of being.
It goes from 40.0 at the top to minus 40 at the bottom, and 0 is body death.
Just in case anybody's watching, I just took about 60 basicallys just now. I took a chug. So I'm good for a while. Such as being, does that person come back every lifetime as Tone 11 thinks? Oh no, the tone scale is sort of like It's sort of like a stop. You can move all over. You can be. I can be. Oh, everything's good, and then, or tomorrow I can be like, oh man, I hate this, and that's anger. Anger's 2.0, right?
Yep.
Anger is above covert hostility. Anger's above that. And they have L. Ron Hubbard has all these theories. Like if you want to bring somebody up tone, like if you meet up with somebody who's 1-1 and you want to bring them up tone, if you're, whatever the tone is right above them, if you use that tone with them, it'll kind of bump them up to that tone, and vice versa. If you meet somebody in their tone 1-1 and you go below them, that'll bring them down tone. Anyway.
And they actually make you practice that too. Like they have drills, you do, tone scale drills.
Yeah, it's called, there's a whole film that I shot at Golden Era Productions called the Tone Scale Film. And we demonstrate every single tone, a visual representation of it. And then that film was also made into another film called the Tone Scale Drill Film. And you have to guess the tone. So they show the tone, but they don't tell you, and you have to guess it. And if you can guess all the tones in the whole movie, let's say it's like 20 minutes long or 15 minutes long. If you can guess all the tones, then you're good. But if you miss a tone, you have to do the whole film all over again until you can get them all flawlessly. Good question, Ron. I don't think anyone's ever asked that question. I do like new questions. That's a fun thing. We do get a lot of repeats because not all the same people are here every week. I understand that.
Which is totally fine.
I used to get kind of a little snippy about that. I wasn't 1-1. I don't know what the tone would be. Is there like is there a tone annoying or annoyance or
easily irritated? I don't know.
Irritated. Anyway, I used to get irritated,
is
but
not
I
a
get
tone
it
level.
Now. Moni69 says, congratulations to you both for getting over 20,000. Oh yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to float something right now, guys. I've got to go on a project. I go depends on how busy I am, but every few months I usually go for a week or two and I do a project out of state. And I was thinking about bringing a camera and bringing a microphone and bringing a whole bunch of stuff. I'm thinking let Claire do a few lives before I go, see how she does, and just let her be the host of the Blown for Good channel. She can do this on her own. She can have people do Q&As. If you guys think that's a good idea, get down there in the comments and let us know.
I promise I'll let you come on as a guest, honey.
I appreciate it. Appreciate that very much. Captain Elf, thank you. I understand pre-OTs thinking SPs are wrong, but if SPs say secret info to someone high on the bridge, why wouldn't they think SP's info is right in general?
They would, but the thing is that an OT is not going to listen to an SP, period. They just have a brick wall that comes down. And so it's not about that. It's more about they just shut off all communication. Despite the fact that they claim to be able to confront and shatter suppression, by practice, they don't do anything of the sort.
Scientology is a study in dichotomies. They say communication is the universal solvent, but don't talk to these people. They say if you are connected to SPs, everything's going to go horrible, but everything's going horrible and they're not connected to SPs. So it's kind of like my rule of thumb is whatever they say to do the opposite of that and you'll be good. Oh man, there's Bella. Drink. Thanks, Bella. Man, I just had a big drink too already. Ms. Pillow says, love you guys Q&A. Love you guys live Q&As. Would love to see Claire come to Mondays live with the three amigas. I don't know. I don't know how many. It's already a little crowded with the three of us. Yeah. Just in terms of, people, as JLD is me in here. People get on me about interrupting Claire. I interrupt Mike and Mark, Mark and Aaron. Mike, what are those guys' names?
Aaron, Aaron and Mike.
Bill, Bill and Tony. I interrupt Bill and Tony on Mondays. I interrupt Mike and Aaron a lot too. I'm a type A personality. I think that might just be it. And I just have bad manners and conversational manners. T. Dalton, is there any Hubbards still in Scientology, like descendants of LRH? There's one. There's just one left. L. Ron Hubbard, did he have 5 kids? 4 or 5. He had Quentin.
Yeah,
What's
5 or
the name
6.
Of?
I can't remember.
Diana?
Diana, Arthur, Suzette,
Ron Jr.
Ron Jr.
So 5. Yeah, it was right.
Yeah.
And Quentin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 5. There's only one left in Scientology, and that's Diana. And Diana worked at the Ant Base with us. And David Miscavige treats her horribly. Like,
yeah.
If you witnessed one single conversation that David Miscavige had with Diana, you would think, how is Diana not crying? And how is David Miscavige, how is he allowed to do that? Like, he calls her the Black Widow, backstabber, evil, witch. He's just, I mean, I want to say she was verbally treated, maybe worse than 98% of everybody else there. He really just treated her horribly. And also, her daughter used to be there as well. Her daughter used to work at the Ant Base with us. And her job, she was a steward for RTC.
Yeah.
So she was the one who did David Miscavige's laundry. So he's yelling at the mom, and he has the daughter doing his laundry. Like, that was her job.
Really
her
sick.
post was to do his laundry. So to be fair, she also did Claire's laundry too.
Yeah,
she,
not
like,
by our
walked our
choice,
dog
though.
and
yeah.
But that was her post. But she was the steward for Religious Technology Center. So, but I don't think she did our laundry though. I think did she do your laundry, Claire?
No. I think
she just walked our dog and fed the dog and did stuff like that. She helped us out with some stuff.
She's the only reason our dog survived after we escaped. That's
right. And I'm really good friends with her to this day. So
yeah, she's an amazing person.
So yeah, she's great. Roanne, her name is Roanne. If you're watching, Roanne,
we love you, Roanne.
Okay, so I think we answered that question. Gary Moorhead, I'm gonna have to block you, Gary, if you keep giving us super chats.
Don't put him in timeout. He's a good guy. Come on, honey, just get over it.
Yeah. David Pearson says, Mark and Claire, you two are so awesome. I'm glad you're clear of this cult. So glad you've been able to go on and have happy lights. Yeah, so are we, David. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of people, I've seen in the comments, people are like, these guys are way too happy to be talking about this horrible stuff. And the thing I want to say is, I'm excited that I'm not there anymore. And that excitement hasn't worn off yet. I mean, we escaped in 2005 and I'm still excited about the project. And I also am excited by encouragement from people. And I'm also excited that we're able to help other people leave. And I'm also excited that somehow, some way, and this is a bizarre thing, that these videos are helping people to just say, you know what? These guys don't seem like they're doing too bad. These guys don't seem like they're sad. These guys don't seem like they're suppressive persons. And then they go, you know what? I think I'm going to leave. So I'm not putting on a show for you guys. Anybody who knows me when I worked at that place, and anybody who knows me now, I'm pretty much the same guy. I'm a teeny eensy bit smarter than I was when I was there. I have a little bit more life experience, but for the most part, I'm the same person generally. But I'm glad we're out of there too. Anonymous, does this seem right? I think DM has run the Church of Scientology into a financial ditch with the ideal org stuff, maxed out the donors and tied it all up. I don't know that they're in a financial ditch. They could just live off their interest for a while. But the thing that they are hurting on is they're losing Sea Org members, they're losing staff members, and they're losing just members. So, and a lot of people don't understand. Like, there's poor Scientologists and there's rich Scientologists. And I was thinking about this when Aaron did that. Aaron Smith Levin on Growing Up in Scientology YouTube channel. He did a video where he kind of talked. He laid out all the statistics of all the different numbers of staff, numbers of public, numbers of Sea Org members. And if you basically look at it, oh, Jesus. If you look at that, and there's about, let's say there's 35 total between staff, Sea Org, and members. It's about 2 to 1. So for every Sea Org member and staff member, there's 2 public. It's that's how it is. There's 2 public for every staff or Sea Org member. That's, I think, about what the breakdown is. And there's 25. I don't know what the math is, but let's say there's 25,000 public. A very small portion of maybe 1,000, maybe even 2,000 of those are the rich ones. And all of the other public are that they think the rich people, they think, are getting into Scientology. It's what's making those rich people keep giving over money. If the rich people knew that there was the Scientology membership was dropping and the orgs are shrimping and they're closing orgs and all these things are happening, they probably wouldn't give as much money and the whole thing would sort of fall apart. So you've got all these members that are still in, are kind of propping up this whole system. And a lot of those members aren't even active. They're not in organizations doing counseling or training or anything like that. So if all the people that really just weren't doing any Scientology or didn't want to be in it would just leave, then a lot of the big donors would be like, oh my God, people are leaving in droves, and then they'd leave, and then the whole thing would fall apart. So hopefully that happens sooner than later. I'm thinking if Mike starts up a YouTube channel, I think in 5 years we could call this thing quits and just be like, okay, let's do something else.
Yep.
That's my thought. Okay, Terry Ray. If you guys are still putting comments and we're trying to shut it down, I see there's some super chats coming. I'm going to do those last super chats, but we're calling it. It's 8:07. No more super chats. We just can't be here for the whole night. I mean, we've got other drinks to drink. Here's one. Growing up in Scientology. Hip hip hooray.
Hip hooray!
Thank you, Aaron.
Hip hip hooray.
I keep plugging Aaron's channel. He's got like 150, 60,000 subscribers. Come out, Aaron, you plug mine some more.
I can't wait to see if we're going to do a live when we go on vacation in March with all of us.
Oh, yeah. You give expectations for people, Claire. You give out this. We might have to. I don't know how we're going to do that. Also, it depends on the internet where we go. We might not have it. We'll see. Terry Ray says, 10 for you to go to Bath and Body Works and get you something that smells nice. Well, thank you, Terry.
Love Bath and Body Works.
Yeah, we have an outlet mall right near us over there.
That was the first place where I got some damn fine smelling perfume.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Claire's got all kinds of perfumes and smells and all kinds of stuff. Okay, Fallon. I guess. Fallon? Yeah, Fallon. With all of their vast real estate, if there was ever a natural disaster, i.e. quake, hurricane, etc., would Scientology be willing to open their doors to help the displaced people? No. No way, no how. That's funny. I was watching a video, not to be sensational or, try to freak people out or scare people or set off any alarms, but there is, in California, they have fault lines. And, if there's a major earthquake, depending on where it is, if you're located on near or around those fault lines, then, something could happen. Scientology's buildings like Celebrity Center, the Hollywood Guarantee Building, authored services, Hollywood Inn, a bunch of these different properties they have. They're all like dead bullseye on the fault line that runs through Hollywood.
Same for one of the
So
buildings at the base, right? In Hemet.
that's right. And there's a building at the international headquarters that the fault line actually goes right through one of these buildings. And so yeah, if I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. I mean, I want Scientology to shut down, but I don't want anybody to be physically harmed. I just want them to like go and reintegrate and not break up families and steal money from elderly people and all the other dastardly stuff they do, and cover up and support assaulters and all that other stuff. But yeah, they are. If there's a big earthquake, they're going to have problems, and they're not going to let people come in, probably because their buildings are going to be on the ground or very badly damaged. They actually had in the Sea organization where the Sea Org members live is called Berthing, and they had a building that was condemned after the Northridge quake in California. I don't remember when the Northridge quake was. I think it was in the mid 90s. I want to say 96. I don't remember. Whenever the Northridge quake was, or whenever there was a real big earthquake, one of their buildings did get condemned, and they had to do a whole retrofit, and they had to put all these steel bolts through the whole building and all that. And then, yeah, so do that. YouTube, R-O Louis C.K. I never
R.O. Louise K. R.O. Louise K.
Okay, I never understand some of these names. Dear YouTube, we are adults. We can handle the bad words. I tell you, Fabian, thank you very much. Put a question in next time. We'll answer it.
Yep.
Catherine, I saw Bella. Where is Max? Max doesn't need to be locked up with Claire. Bella is the one who just wants to be where Claire really are.
Like I said, she's my support dog.
Yes, Dan, Mark, any interesting memories of the My Scientology movie? Yeah, there's a great scene. It did end up in the movie. I do have a video of it, which is amazing, and I'll show it on one of these live streams. But I used to do videos, and I would do interviews and talk to Tony Ortega on the Underground Bunker all the time. And when we were shooting Louis' My Scientology movie, there was a scene. We had to hike into the Santa Monica Mountains in California, and they wanted to show a bunch of people like that were, I guess, in the hole, and all these Sea Org members were running around a tree, okay, and we were up on top of this mountain, and so down below the mountain, there were all these Sea Org members running around a tree. And then on this other hill below the mountain was Tom Cruise and David Miscavige, and they were shooting shotguns and like skeet shooting and stuff. And so you see all these Sea Org members running around the tree, and then the camera pans over, and then you see David Miscavige and Tom Cruise shooting guns and high-fiving and like, oh yeah, fist pumping and doing all this stuff. And I was videoing with my camera. I was videoing all this as they were shooting it. And you can hear the director go, okay, get ready. And then he goes, Headley, if this ends up on Ortega, you're banned. And then they show the scene, they go, action. And then they do the whole scene. But it was just a funny video. Anyway, that's my story. Okay. I'll find the video. We'll put it on it. Growing up in Scientology says, shout out to Tampa Brad, who is always dropping loads and pearls of wisdom over at Home Love Construction. 10x, exclam, 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 exclam.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, shout out to Tampa Brad. Tampa Brad, I'm trying to think of what it was. Oh, we did get a bunch of bobblehead pics. So I was telling you guys last week, we had a ton of David Miscavige shoots, which are funny photoshopped pictures of David Miscavige.
We have so many. Amazing creativity.
People might have gone a little overboard. I
just can't wait to see the sound effects you put with all of them. It's amazing.
I'm gonna have to start getting that video ready on the weekend, just to have it ready by Tuesday.
Yep.
Oh, good job there. Good job there. You have to drink. If Claire's audio stuff goes off behind you, have to drink.
Time for the children to brush their teeth.
Anyway, you made me lose my train of thought. Oh, so there is
bobblehead pics.
So somebody sent in a picture of Mike Rinder on a couch with some earrings. And I think, I'm going to say, I don't remember because I saw it really quick when it came in, but I want to say there was some undergarments like hanging on the couch as well. And it was like, Mike, will you help me find my earrings? Anyway, this Tampa Brad thing is just never going to end. We all know COB missed the genetic lottery when it comes to stature. Do you think the elfin dictator may also be compensating for other shortcomings? I don't know about that. I do know he was very big on the HGH, human growth hormone. He was definitely getting a lot of that and taking a lot of that. Is it an injection, or do you drink it?
It was like a little tincture bottle bought in bulk. And also the Dr. Schultz tinctures.
Yeah, I understand that. Do you inject it or do you drink it?
Oh, you drink it. It's topical.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Well, it's topical is not an injecting.
Oral.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. Gary Moore had said, I'll fill in for you. Okay,
nice.
Good. Yeah, thank you.
Nice.
Yes, Gary's awesome. I want to do an interview with Gary. Ron says, responses to the question why Sea Org's treated so badly when Scientology has billions. It's all about control and destroying self-worth. If Scientology paid livable wages and work 60 hours
less
a
than
week,
60 hours a week, most
less
would
than
leave.
60 hours. Yeah, that's true. You know what? That's a good point.
We had so many years of sleeping 0 to 3 hours of sleep that our critical thinking capabilities were destroyed, and it would have if we were sleeping and eating and making some money, we would have socked away savings and gotten the hell much sooner.
Yeah, I was there. We were there for 15 years. I was there for 15 years. Claire was there for like 13?
14, almost 14.
We had when I left, I had like $50. I think in the bank. When I left, somebody who wrote me a check, it was L. Ron Hubbard's granddaughter gave me the money. She basically,
Get me, baby.
She gave me the money that I used to escape with. And I ended up, one of the very first things I did was when the police rescued me on the highway, Bella's running around there. When the police rescued me on the highway and got me to U-Haul, I got my bike. My bike was basically damaged. I couldn't drive it. So I put it in a U-Haul and I drove to the airport. On the way to the airport, I stopped at a Wells Fargo and I cashed the check that Roanne wrote me. And that was how I escaped, was with that check from Roanne. So Roanne basically, L. Ron Hubbard's granddaughter, financed my escape.
Didn't you tell her you were going to use it to get me a birthday present or something like that?
No. They were trying to make me pay that $250 for the eBay and the shipping fees.
Oh, that's right.
And I didn't have any money, so I was like, okay, well, I got about $50. If I get $200 from somebody, then I could just give them the $250 and this whole thing can be over. So I went and hit up Roanne. It was like 2:00 in the morning. I literally knocked on her door and I was like, hey, Roanne, can I borrow $200? She's like, whatever. She wrote me a check for $200. And then I went and I said, okay, good. Here's $250. They're like, no, you can't give us the money. You're going to go to the RPF no matter what. And I'm like, but you're saying I'm going to go to the RPF because you're missing $250 of PayPal or eBay fees. So here's $250. They're like, nope, you're going to the RPF. So I was like, okay, well, I got $250. That's enough money to get the hell out of here.
Yep.
And, yeah. And then And then after Roanne found out I blew, she canceled back.
Well, of
But
course
I'd
she
already
did.
cashed
I'm
it,
sure.
so it
I'm sure they made her
bounced.
do it. Yeah.
But my account was like negative $200 the next day.
Yep. You didn't read that comment.
Oh, just finished BFG. Amazing. Thank you for sharing your story. Waiting for Claire's now. Yeah, Claire,
Thank you,
get on it.
Andrea.
Yes, Claire's supposed to write a book while I'm off doing the project, but now she's going to be hosting the channel. So now she's got double duty. See? I unstarred that one. You got to go find that one. I unstarred Super Chat. I'm sorry. Do you and Dave... Do you
think Dave ever loved Shelley?
Did
she love him?
Did she love him? I think they did. I mean, I don't know.
It's really hard to tell in the Sea Org because there's never any personal relationships. There's never any, you don't really know anybody. You don't even, so that's why like Mike and Mark and I and Aaron, we've become really good friends and we've really got to know each other for the first time, even though we knew each other for decades.
Yeah, but I didn't really know Mike that well. I just knew that he was always getting beat up and yelled at by Dave. I mean, I spent a lot of time like working on events and seeing Mike and all that stuff. But yeah.
I knew him better than you did just because he was in RTC for a while.
Yeah, and also you crashed into him in a car. So
no, he crashed into me in a car. I rescued him when he fell off his motorcycle. He'll tell you that.
Okay. Either way, you guys crashed into each other. How about that?
Yeah, sure.
Let's agree that you both have poor driving skills. Here we go.
What was I supposed to do? Airlift out of his way? I was stopped.
Here we go. I found it. Whew, I was really worried. Maxwell Edison's mom says, has anyone tried throwing some water on DM? He would probably melt like the Wicked Witch, right? I don't know, but he's not a fan of people messing with him physically or
you know, speaking of water, he used to do that to people all the time, flick them with water.
Yes, he did, didn't he? He would,
yeah.
If he had a water bottle, he would just go like that. Like a, you know, like if you just have like an Arrowhead bottle or a Dasani and you just take the top off and you just go, yeah. Oh, we got a drink. Claire's buzzing and making noises again. Yeah, so if Claire interrupts the stream with audio or an animal, you got to drink. Okay, next one. Anne says, are there any cultural differences between Scientology in different countries? Do they celebrate national holidays or staff get the day off? Can't wait to get my book. Thanks, Anne. They have Scientology holidays, like I mentioned in an earlier video, where they do like Auditor's Day, Dianetics Day, March 13th, the anniversary of L. Ron Hubbard's birthday. They have certain holidays like that. Sea Org Day. I don't know. I don't really think I mean, it's sort of a bummer when they have holidays because Sea Org members don't get those days off and org staff don't get those days off. But public, I guess it really depends. Like public are usually go on vacation or they go do something when they have a day off. So they're not coming to the organization to waste a day studying Scientology or getting counseling. Yeah, I don't know. I never really worked at a public-facing organization long enough to know what they do on holidays. So I'm not sure what they do, but they definitely don't get the days off. They don't get days off. I mean, in the Sea Org, sometimes we wouldn't even get Christmas off or New Year's.
Sometimes the only way we would celebrate is on Christmas Day.
Man, you're so loud.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Christmas Day, we would wear civilian clothing, normal clothes instead of uniform. The only way was Christmas.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to wear our uniforms, but we'd still have to work. For Thanksgiving, we would get a 45-minute meal break instead of a 15-minute meal break. Like, and we get turkey, and we get a really nice Thanksgiving dinner. We get turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy and cranberry sauce and rolls, and we get all that, and we get 45 minutes to eat it. Weren't we lucky?
Yep.
Yeah, that was about it. And some days on Christmas, we would get, was it like the week before? I can't remember what they do. I think it was the week before Christmas. If we were slaying it, like if we were really doing good, if the organization that you worked in at the end base, it varied from organization. There was about, I'd say 5 or 6 different organizations that were located at the international headquarters. And so one organization could be doing amazing and doing great, but others wouldn't be. So they'd bus us to this place. It was called Cabazon. It was like an outlet mall in the middle of the desert. Right. And it was called the Cabazon Outlets or something like that. It was like halfway to Palm Springs.
Yep.
And it was about an hour, I'd say about an hour, maybe 45 minutes from the property. And we'd get like a bonus if we were doing good and we got to go shopping. They'd give us like, okay, guys, you're getting a Christmas bonus. And you'd be like, yes. And it'd be like, here's $137. And you'd be like,
now go buy your presents for Dave and Shelley.
God. Yeah. No, because you'd have to give some money. You'd have to give like $10 or $15, or if you were in an organization that was higher and there was less people, you have to give like $100 or $200 towards a present to buy for Dave or Shelley. But if you were in Golden Era, there was like 300-400 people in Golden Era, so everybody would just put in $5 or $10. But the rest of the money, that was to buy your entire family Christmas presents. And you'd be like, yeah, I don't think so. Mom, Dad, none of you guys are getting presents. You're all getting cards. And Claire and I are getting a comforter. Or, whatever it was that we wanted. We would just go buy that for ourselves and be like, Merry Christmas to me.
Remember they used to make us do family Christmas photos. So they'd say, since you can't buy presents for your family, we're going to set up a photographer and you can just do a nice staged Christmas photo in front of a Christmas tree and send that to your family as a, like, gloss it over, everything's wonderful, quote unquote.
Yeah. The best picture, we should put that up, Claire. We have a bunch of these. Claire and I have a bunch of these over the years. And in one of the pictures, Claire was not allowed to eat in the diner. She was in religious technology. She was at the top of this. She was in religious technology center, but she wasn't allowed to eat with the other religious technology, with the other RTC people. And she had to eat by the dumpsters. So she just didn't eat. She would just eat like protein bars or whatever. I think he weighed like $105 at that time. It was I could pick her up, like standing in front of her. I could pick her up right away and just go like that. She was 100 pounds.
And add to that when we took that photo, I think 2 hours of sleep. So I look like 30 years older than I actually was. It's awful. Like to this day, I look at that picture and it just, ugh.
But the best part is I'm going to just take a sip for that. They use those pictures. Claire and I sued Scientology for back wages and human trafficking and all these different things. And we lost because they hung the whole lawsuit on the human trafficking and they basically threw out all the other causes of action. There was another case that kept those, and Scientology ended up settling with those people and wrote them a check. But in our case, we lost. But one of the things they showed in the lawsuit as evidence were all these family pictures that we took over the years about how happy we were. Because look at us, we have a picture and we're smiling and everything. But that was literally the purpose of the picture, is show your families how well you're doing and how happy you are. Now stand in front of them as a Christmas tree and smile. And then we take a picture. And then they print
and not
those,
to mention,
and
not to mention the fact, not to mention the fact that we did those during our 30-minute dinner break.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You had to do that. You had, well, yeah. That's if we had a 30-minute meal break. Yeah. If we had 15-minute meal breaks or whatever, but I think they gave you some time to get your picture taken. Even if you had to go there after muster, you could walk in there and the photographer would take your picture. Okay, we answered the hell out of that question. Thank you very much. Okay, it is almost 8:30. We're going to do the last of these ones here. Wait, you owned a dog while on the base? Yes. Because Claire was in Religious Technology Center, we got a few extra little perks that other people didn't get. And one of those is that we had a dog. Now, we lived in a house that was right next to the property. And it was on a road called Sub Road. There was a golf course that Scientology owned that was right next to the property. And our houses were located along that golf course. And we didn't, I'm going to say in the 15 years that we were at the base, I never once golfed on that golf course. Never once.
No, me neither.
I never went out there and hit a few balls. But we lived on a golf course. And our dog, we had a backyard, and our dog lived in the backyard. And he was at the house all day by himself. And we would leave in the morning. I would go there for lunch. And I would go there for dinner. I would just drive my motorcycle to my house. I would pet him, feed him, make sure he was all good, and then drive back. And then I would do the same thing at dinner. So I didn't really eat that much. I just grab some people. I'm gonna blow some people's minds here. I would eat ramen, and some people say, "Oh yeah, so ramen, so not so bad." Yeah, not with water. I would just take the ramen out of the package and sprinkle the packet on the noodles. And just as I was driving my motorcycle to go to the dog, I would just eat the ramen just like that, just hard with the seasoning packet on it. And that was my lunch, and usually that was my dinner. And sometimes I would cook it up at the house, or, put some salsa and some corn and some peas and, mix it up with, throw an egg in there. But, yeah. That's
what happened when we blew, and his name was Jupiter. He was a Dalmatian. We grew up with Dalmatians, so how we ended up with a Dalmatian is my parents gave me a puppy, and we actually kind of smuggled it in originally, but then because I was in RTC, then we got away with it because Mark, as I have said previously, was always a rebel. But it was really sad. The night before I escaped, I was crying. I said, "Jupiter, I'm really sorry. I have to go. You're going to be okay." It was heartbreaking. It was the hardest part. We did get him back.
We did get him back like 3 months later.
Yeah.
And he was a white Dalmatian with black spots. And when I picked him up, you could not tell that he was a Dalmatian. He was so dark, like grayish black, because they just let him, they just basically, Roanne at least fed him, but nobody washed him, nobody did anything. And so the first thing I did when I got him in Riverside. I met the Scientology security guards. I rented, is this in my
Penske truck? No, because this is after.
Oh yeah, this is
all after.
Yeah.
This is what you had allocated for book 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to tell that story sometime. Anyway, on the way to Kansas City from California, I stopped in Las Vegas, and I told Claire, I said, "Get me a hotel that's somewhere way off the strip in the middle of nowhere, because I'm going to give this dog." And it took me probably 2 hours to get him white. And he was so happy. He had good luck after that with us. But yeah, we did have a dog. Thank you. Downtone Abbey. Thank you. I get it. Downtone Abbey. Instead of Downton Abbey.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
I like that one. You know what? If I could give a super chat back, I'd give a super chat back for Downtone Abbey. Aaron says, so Mark goes, either way, and Mike exclaims, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yes.
And mine is, no worries.
No worries. Okay.
That's what I say.
Here we go. This is the last one, folks. It is 8:34. This is the last question we're going to take. And we have to just jump off so fast. And here's the last one. It's from Denver Stevo. Denver Stevo says, can I have the last super chat? Whoa! no. What are the
Boom.
chances, Denver Steve-O? Of course you can have the last super chat. You can have the last chat period. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, somebody said we might need to have a whole night with Claire and Goldie in charge. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, there's so many questions. I'm sorry we can't get to all the questions. We might do, I think the next, Claire, but I think the next super chat we do, or I mean the next Q&A we do, maybe I'll just take off the super chat. So it's just regular questions. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm going to just do, here we go. Oh, well, my whole thing changed here. Oh, there we go. Real quick, we are signing, Claire and myself are signing any kind of my book that if you get them from blownforgood.com. Otherwise, if you want to get a Audible or a Kindle, you just go to Amazon and get those. Or anywhere where digital books are sold, you can get a copy of a digital version of my book. And then you can also I think you can still buy the hardbacks and paperbacks through Amazon. I wanted to take them off, but Claire says leave them on. So
no, they're off now. They're off.
Oh, you took them off? You finally took them off?
I sure did.
Okay, so if you want a hardback or soft paperback, you got to go to blownforgood.com. But if you want a digital version, you can go to Amazon. If you want to support the Aftermath Foundation, we've got bobbleheads and SP bracelets. So it's a bracelet, looks just like this. It says SP. You can see that? I don't know if you can see the S and the P. It's it's stainless steel. I've had this one for years. I wear it every single day. I never take it off. And you can get those through the SP shop. We've got all different sizes. There's a sizing chart on there. And all the proceeds from those go to the Aftermath Foundation to help people escape or help people get their feet back on the ground. And if you want to just support the Aftermath Foundation by being a volunteer or by sending in a donation, you can go to theaftermathfoundation.org. If you want to volunteer, I think there's a tab on there that says volunteer, and you can just email us and say like, oh, I've got I can drive somebody to the airport, or I can I got to play an extra room somebody can stay at for a few nights if they need to get away from somewhere, a safe place, whatever you can donate or whatever you can, however you can help. It doesn't have to be financially. If you can just say, hey, put me on the list if you need to call on people. And then like I said, if anybody's got any leads on any jobs in Hollywood, we're really trying to get this guy a job in Hollywood. And then we've had many people contact us from the videos that Aaron and myself have been doing. We've had a lot more Scientologists contacting us and reaching out to us that need either a job or a place they can go to get away, all these different things. So this database, and it doesn't matter where you live. If you live in Ohio or if you live in Helsinki, it doesn't matter. There's people that are trying to leave Scientology from all over the world. Granted, a majority of them are in the United States, but we also have people in EU. We have people in Australia. We've got some people in South America, all over the place that we've helped. So it doesn't matter where you live. Wherever you're watching this video, there's somebody possibly near you that might need some help one day. And if we usually what happens is when someone's escaping, we just go, okay, is there anybody near this person? We go, oh yeah, we've got this person in Los Angeles, or we've got this person in Utah, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Wherever the person is, we try to find somebody that's near them within an hour or so from that person to be able to help them. But there was one other thing I wanted to show you real quick. I totally forgot. I showed you the pictures of Claire, but I got these texts. I always tell them, but I got this weird text today. It said, Mike, this is to me, not Mike Rinder, but it says, Mike, how is it going? Everything goes well? And
O says falling down on the job with cut and paste like that.
Well, yeah, but then it says, it's like, whoa, check it out. Now, listen, Osa, I mentioned this before. If you're gonna try to honeypot me, it's gotta be a redhead. I'm not going for these other broads. I've tried to tell you this. I mean, Osa is really falling down on the job. I don't know what. I don't get it. They're not. Are we trying? Are you guys trying to clear the planet or not? Okay. Dang. Don't forget to subscribe.
In this case, get a like on a whole new meaning.
Say that last part again.
I said in this case with O, they get a life. It takes on a whole new meaning. Actually, please, life.
Yeah. Yes. Don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get 80,000 subscribers by L. Ron Hubbard's birthday. And the only way we're going to do this is if the people that are watching the video click the subscribe button. Based on YouTube, there's about half of you that watch these videos not subscribed. I'm not sure what's up with that, but it is what it is. We're trying to win the birthday game, and we need subscribers. And
we don't want to be assigned lower conditions.
We need 80,000 subscribers by March 13th, and Aaron can't send every single person over here. Some of you guys just have to hit subscribe. I think that's it. We did good. We did like a $1.40 on this one, an hour 40 tonight. So thank you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who watched all the way through. And yeah, we'll see you on either Mondays with Mike and Mark on Aaron's channel and my channel. No matter what, we're doing Top 10 Tuesdays. So if you're here for that, we'll do that. Top 10 Tuesdays.
We'll have our audio video fixed by then.
Well, no, we just won't do this local recording. I think it's just taking up an extra little bit of bandwidth that the StreamYard's not supporting. But yeah, we'll see you guys on Monday and Tuesday. And I'll probably put up I'm going to try to put up some more spy files. And yeah, until next time. You got to point like that, Claire. You got to point. Just put your finger towards the no. Just point towards the lens, and then.